ELENA. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. And you were a bit disappointed last night with the second goal that we lost, but other than that, it was a decent performance. And the point itself isn't actually too bad in terms of looking at the table and the implications of it.
Yeah, I think the most important is obviously like looking how we bounce back from the Saturday game is something that we knew was going to be important coming into the game. And I can just say that, first off, especially, obviously we got a goal behind after some minutes, but how we responded to that with that mindset was incredible to see, because I thought we dominated the first half, especially after the 10 minutes, that I didn't think that we were really onto it. And then the second half started well, conceded that goal, but we really pushed to get one more goal in. And that's something that says how much hunger we have towards the next game. So that was really pleased to see as a coach.
Talk Natalie through some points and on the game since the split. Celtic have scored the most goals. We've taken the most points, and we've moved up the table from second to first. The Rangers have suffered 2 defeats in the split while we're undefeated. So we're going into this game on Monday with momentum and confidence as league leaders.
Yeah, 100%. It just, like you're saying, like I don't even think about what Rangers has done in the split or not. I think the most important is still believing in what we do and what we have been doing well, because that's the reason why we're in the position like we are. And that's something that the confidence need to still build on, is what we've done so far has been working, because it has put us into a position where we are right now. And that's something that the only focus should be on, is what we are doing and what we have done that has taken us so far.
And at Hampden, we struggled to get out from the back. They were pressing us very high. Is there an option for Kelsey to launch some long balls down the park and maybe Tash Flint knock them on? Murphy goes in, scores a winner.
Obviously, I think that game is something that, I'm trying to forget and try to move on, because it was not us at all. If you look at the game, I don't think that... I only thought that Celia was the best player. I don't think that anyone else were as good as they can be. So I don't want to say this is what we're going to change and this is what we're going to do, because that was not our best game, and that's something that we need to move on, and that's what we did against Glasgow City. So if you watch Glasgow City game, we created a lot of chances by not just kicking it long. So we need to be confident in what we're good at.
One player that could have made a big difference at Hampden and maybe last night was Kitleversky, but she seems to be injured. Is she out for the season?
I don't know the answer about being out for the season, but obviously she's been missing some games now. Let's see how the recovery goes with her foot. Hopefully we can see what happens on Monday or after that, but it doesn't look too bright.
The wider picture, Natalie mentioned the disparities in the budgets between Rangers and Celtic. I think it's maybe double their budget, and Celtic are the team with £70 million in the bank, and obviously all the benefits of that. Is it a case for the summer where you can argue that we at least can match them on spending in terms of recruitment?
It's a good question. Yeah, obviously, you have some recruitment going on right now, and hopefully we get some signings closed soon enough. But for me, is obviously trying to focus on what's now, because this is very important, what we have ahead. But hopefully we get good signings in the summer and we keep the players that we want to keep, and that's something you get to know very soon, hopefully.
I mean, the prize is obviously win the league, first title ever, go down in Celtic history, but also the Champions route in the Champions League for you next season, which would obviously open the door for more signings want to come to the club.
Yeah, it's just like you're saying. I think the most important is focus on what we can do now, because that's the only thing we can control. And obviously the Champions League spot is something that we really, really want because we know that it's important for us as a club. So whatever opens, but I try to not think too much about it because there's one game at one time, and that's something that we can control.
Matt O'Reilly and Joe Hart were talking about how just big a club Celtic is. What's your experience of that now you've been here for a number of months?
What did you say before?
How big a club that Celtic actually is. They didn't realise how big it was until they arrived at the club.
Oh, I knew that Celtic was a huge club before coming here. Like I said before, Henrik Larsson has been a big idol of mine since I was a wee kid. But coming here, you see the facilities, you see how many people are, here in the club, how good support we have in many different things. Barrowfield is soon to be ready for us in hopefully October. And that's something that not many teams have out in Europe. So that's something I'm very proud to be a part of because, like I said, it's a project that I've signed for. And hopefully throughout these years I'm going to be here. It's going to be a lot of success coming in.
Remember, win this league and you're the Queen of Queens, ELENA.
Well, one game at one time, right?
Hi, ELENA. When you say very understandable, you want to put that semi-final completely behind you. But with it being so recent, do you think maybe the disappointment that the players felt at Hampden can be channeled into their performance on Monday?
I think you know the answer if you watch the performance we did yesterday. It was a total different team who played. And that's something that, it's already gone. What we showed yesterday is what kind of a team we are. We're an attacking team. We like the intensity of our game, both offensively and defensively. And that's something that we need to keep going on because that's the reason we are where we are in the table is because we've been playing that game. And that's something that the players have done really well. So it's the only focus right now is what happened yesterday and how we can try to perform even better on Monday.
What does it say about the mental strength of your players? A lot of these girls went through the kind of heartbreak of losing the league on the last day of the season last year. And do you get the sense that that's something that has built a sort of a strength in them?
I think the hunger of being a part of potentially winning the league for the first time is bigger than that because we can't control what's been and I was not even a part of it, so I don't even know how they felt, but the response you can see of us letting an early goal in yesterday and then obviously coming in and after that and just showing how much we want to win the game was huge in the mindset. And that's something I don't know if it comes from last year or how much the hunger is on right now. I think that's something that I think is bigger than if you think about last season. I think everybody wants to be a part of what we want to do in the league.
Well, the absolute focus is on winning this match on Monday. And be aware that there's a significant goal difference advantage for Celtic here. Will there come a point where you know that a draw favours you more than it probably favours Rangers here?
Yeah, of course. Like I know that if Rangers want to come first, they need to win they must win the game. But I don't want to be comfortable in thinking that we go into a game because we want a draw. Like it's not us. Celtic we need to go in for every game to win because that's what we are. I think if you go into a mentality that it's fine with a draw, that's when you lose because that's when you're strong, like you're not strong enough to think about winning. And it's not us, and that's nothing that we're going to think about.
Thanks, ELENA. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, ELENA. Amy Gallagher featured again last night. How important to you do you think it will be having Amy more up to speed for the game against Rangers on Monday?
Oh, there's no secret that Amy has been the best player so far when it comes to look at her statistic, look at the goal scorer, look at the assists. I think Amy has been incredible, and she's a big player for us, just like every other player. But obviously, Amy has been doing a great season so far, and she is very important for us, yes.
Celtic have quite a big goal difference in comparison to the other competitors. How big a factor does that play on your confidence going into the final games of the season?
Well, if you look at how we've been playing, especially like since we came into the split, is an attacking football with intensity, with high pace, and that's something that we still need to do, because that's the reason why we are where we are, and that belief in what we do is going to be very, very important, because, like I say, the reason why we play like we do is because we want to be dominating, we want to create chances, we want to score goals, and that's the style of play we have, and that's what we're gonna continue to try to do.
And lastly, from me, just what's your message to the fans going into the final push of the season?
Like I said before, the reason why we are where we are is because of the players showing up every game and doing their very best, and that's something that the fans is a big part of, because we all know when we have fans screaming, supporting, that's going to give extra. And obviously, like on Saturday, we had fans, but unfortunately, we made them disappointed. But we also know that we're going to try our hardest to never let that happen again, because it's not us. So we always need our fans, because we have a big statue outside the arena that without fans, football is nothing. And that's something that, you know, we need to keep that going, because our fans make us so much better. So we need their support, and our players deserve that support.
Thank you, ELENA. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, ELENA. For the match last Saturday, the Rangers head coach Jo Potter kind of made it quite clear that she was a little bit unhappy with the length of time that the traditional pre-match huddle kind of took between the Celtic players. It was just to kind of gauge any sort of response from you on that, and if you know if that kind of bothers you going into Monday's game or not.
I think what Jo Potter says needs to stand for herself. Like, we always do the same thing before games, but I think she just wants to have something to say and be tough about it. So, you know, I don't care what she's saying. If she says that that's our mindset, then, you know, she can just think about it, because I couldn't care less. I just think it's very, if there's something that she wants to say to, I don't know, to feel like she's better or whatever, like, let her say so. I don't care. We always do the same thing. If you see the previous game, they always do the same thing. So I don't know where she got that from, but if that's something that she wants to focus on, then let her focus on it. I don't care. Couldn't care less.
ELENA, can I just ask you, you were talking there about fans coming into the ground. Are you disappointed with the numbers that we've seen in recent games for such high-profile games?
Disappointed. I feel like with the fan base that Celtic has, I think that more people should be here and support, especially when it comes to history. Yes, we can be the first team winning the league, but I've also know that if we win the title, both men and women, we write history as a club. And as a fan, I think you should support that. And the girls deserves it. I'm that kind of a coach that feels that the players deserve the best. And I know that the fans is a big part of what the players feel. So I always want the best for the girls. So yes, I want more, and I want the fans to support us, because the girls deserves it. Because they do their best every day, every training, every game. And I think that's something that they deserve, yes.
What can we do to get more fans out?
I can't answer on that question. I think there's a lot of things that obviously we can do, but it also comes to fans taking that responsibility to show up, because we have incredible fans that we see every weekend, and you know, seeing them every weekend makes my heart grow, because they're the best fans ever. They shout, they scream, they support, and that's something that, you know, I love to see. But in the end, it comes to like people showing up and showing the support, and that's something that I hope to see more and more.
Can I just take you back to the thing with the huddle? I know you've been quite clear on your thoughts on it, but Joe Porter's criticism was that it was deliberate to stall the game. It was deliberate. It was a mind game to delay kickoff. Was it just coincidental that the referee blowing his whistle and the huddle was still going on?
Alison, if you look at the previous games we played, look at the huddle. Look at how much time it takes. That's what I'm saying. She wants to find excuses. She wants us to look bad. I have no idea. But if that's what she wants to keep focus on, then keep focus on that. Because for me, I don't know. Something that, if that makes her happy to say, let her say it.
There was also an interesting remark from Jo after the game when she said she was really confident had the game gone into extra time because she felt as though Rangers were a fitter team. Were you surprised by that?
Like I said, let her keep talking. I have no more. Yeah, but the thing is, like, obviously, like as a journalist or something, you always want to catch up something that's said. I've heard it. Let her talk. You know, I'm not gonna say something else about another team because it's not my business, and that's just how I am. If she wants to give comments about other teams or say something like that, like let her say it. And you know, I can say yes, we didn't look like we have been looking lately. But if you look at the game when we won, I could also say we look much fitter. But I didn't. I want to praise something else, our performance, and that's the most important for me. If she wants to say something else, then it's up to her. Let her stand for it.
And just last question from me, but do you sense a belief within your squad that you're capable of going on and winning this title?
100%. 100%. We just need to focus on ourselves, and that's what we're going to do. And that's what we showed yesterday.